Can you hear that?
Barely, but I know what it means. New York.
I think I have to hold it farther away from the microphone. Is that better?
No. But we all know what you mean. Yay.
I'm leaving today.
Look at you. Look at you embracing the New York attitude. Look at you embracing
New York. All right, I'm done. Welcome to the Just Baseball Show. Holy schlit. What were you saying?
Holy schlit. Who cares what I was saying? It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. And it's all Cam Schlittler. I can't even talk. It's one of the greatest performances I've ever seen. 24 years old, born in 2001. We got other games to talk about, though.
Was he in the building for the 2004 ALCS? ESPN made it sound like he was, Schlittler.
Well, he grew up a diehard Red Sox fan.
It's from Walpole.
To be perfectly honest with you, I wasn't really listening to the broadcast. It was on mute sometimes. Like, I'm so in my own head. They could have said anything and I wouldn't be listening.
Yeah. Here's the thing. He might have grown up a diehard Red Sox fan, but he is a Red Sox killer now. Just Baseball Show, Jack McMullen, Peter Apple. I want to start with this game. We actually want to work backwards. And here's what we're going to do tonight, late
I'm good
night.
with that.
Yeah, you're going to get two episodes here. You're going to get wild card reaction, and then you're going to get a DS preview tomorrow, probably mid-afternoon is when that'll drop on your podcast feed. But we're going to recap every game three. Probably going to be on the quicker side. Red Sox Yankees going to be the majority of the conversation. Before we get into Red Sox Yankees, who we brought to you by?
BetMGM, the sports book born in Vegas. Remember, folks, download BetMGM, whether that be on iOS or Android, and use promo code JUSTBASEBALL. Why? First bet offer up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first wager loses. Just remember, gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 years or older. Terms and conditions apply. That was the greatest ad read I've ever read.
So let's jump into Red Sox Yankees. And I can give you the rundown if you want. Do you
yes,
want it
I would love the rundown. Give it to us.
Okay, so the Yankees win 4-0 in Game 3 of the Wild Card Series. Yankees take the Wild Card Series 2-1 over the Boston Red Sox. The only scoring came in the fourth when the Yankees played in 4 against Red Sox starter Connolly early. Ahmed Rosario, he started it with an RBI single to left. Then Anthony Volpe played it another with an RBI single of his own before a booted ball by Nathaniel Lowe at first base plated runs 3 and 4 in the inning. That was it. Scoring came in 1/2 inning today. Early was better than his line would have suggested. Connolly early went 3 2/3, 3 earned, 4 runs in total. He K'd 6 and walked 1. But the day belonged to Cam Schlittler. The native of Walpole, Massachusetts, the Boston suburb, goes 8 scoreless with 5 hits allowed, no runs, no walks, 12 Ks. Cam Schlittler throws 107 pitches, 75 for strikes. Couple of notes. This from Sam Dykstra at MLB.com. This is Cam Schlittler's first game with double-digit punch-outs at any professional level. He didn't reach 10-plus Ks in any start in rookie ball, in low A, in high A, in double A, in triple A. Now he's done it in an elimination game at Yankee Stadium against the team that he grew up being a diehard fan of. This one from Jeff Passett. Cam Schlittler is the first rookie to strike out 10 or more in a postseason game since October 12th of 1997. He also pasted a YouTube link in there. If you haven't seen highlights from this Livan Hernandez 15 punch-out performance as a Florida Marlin, you should watch that video because it's actually the worst strike zone anyone has ever seen in the history of baseball. This strike zone extended by 12 to 16 inches beyond the plate, east and west, up and down. It's horrible, and Livan K'd 15. He's the first guy to K 12 as a rookie since Livan Hernandez. That was 30 years ago in 1997. First rookie to K 10 or more since then. This was as dominant a pitching performance as we have had in a week filled with dominant pitching performances. We were just gushing about Skubal and Crochet. Hell, we were gushing about Gavin Williams. We were gushing about a couple other guys. Fried was really good in his outing too. I mean, dude, this was a different level of locked in today. And this guy became a Yankee legend. That was so much fun to watch. And to be honest, front third of the game was some of my favorite baseball that I've watched all year because you've got early just being surgical. I mean, inside, outside, up, down, every single pitch was working. And you had Schlittler pumping 100. One of them sustained. The other had the wheels fall off a bit in the fourth inning. Cam Schlittler's outing, I would say left me speechless, but I've put plenty of words together in coherent thoughts. So, I want you to try that. Try putting a coherent thought together as it pertains to Cam Schlittler.
First, can you do that rundown again? Could you start over? Just do that whole thing again?
Got going in the bottom of the
But for real, excuse me, I'm all choked up right now. Speechless is the perfect way to describe it. Cam Schlittler started the year in Double-A. He was a good pitching prospect.
He was the opening day starter for the Somerset Patriots this year.
Moves up to Triple-A. Comes up to the big leagues. And I said on this show, I got to be careful. I got to be careful about some of the young arms that the Yankees pull up because I have gotten my heart ripped out by a lot of them. We've had a lot of hype with a lot of Yankees prospects. Davey Garcia, Phil Hughes, the list goes on and on.
Crazy so those are the first two you pluck.
Because they're burned into my brain. And remember when he got called up, you and Arm are hyping him up. And I'm like, I just got to calm myself down. I can't buy in yet. And then he obliterates the Tampa Bay Rays when we're at the Little League World Series. And we're watching that all on the TV in this little cave, basically, this Airbnb that Colby got us. And I'm starting to think wild things. I'm like, you know what? I'll get my heart ripped out again. Game 3, elimination game, 24 years old, in the Bronx, tons of pressure. First inning, hundo, straight fuel. Now, he's always had good stuff, but this, no lineup in baseball could have hit him tonight. It's not really an indictment on the Red Sox. I really don't. When you're throwing sinkers like that, I mean, there was a Nate Eaton at bat where he swung over the top of a 100-mile-an-hour sinker. Felt like he was 8 inches from touching that baseball. And he stayed with the heater all night. Boone keeping him out there until the 8th. I wanted to give him the 9th, but I was getting greedy. I understand.
It's 107 pitches for 107 pitches starting in 5 days.
I was feeling the moment. I would have given him the 10th if it was possible. That's how I was feeling at the moment. That was it was such a weird feeling because once I saw that he had it, I felt so confident because it was very similar to that start against the Rays. When this guy is in the zone, because we have to remember, this guy had a 10% walk rate this season. His command can get a little bit out of whack. But when he's in the zone like that, and his facial expressions, just a straight up killer. A killer in every sense of the word, and assassin.
There were points where we got close-ups on his face, and I was like, there's nothing behind those eyes right now. It's just, I'm going to beat your ass and move on.
Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here. You know what it reminded me of? LeBron James versus the Toronto Raptors. Just in an incredible flow state. Nothing could bother him. I don't even think he heard a word from the crowd. He was in the zone. Oh, that was amazing. That was amazing.
When you think about postseason pitching performances that you have watched as a Yankee fan, I'm not asking you for like overall postseason performances, because in recent history, like there are, postseason performances that jump out. For me, like the one burned into my brain is the Doc Halladay no-hitter in the postseason. Like that's the one that I will carry with me forever. Schlittler, like as weird as it sounds, it's so hard for me to wrap my brain around a start that we just watched going into the history books as an all-time postseason start. But we saw it with Skubal on Tuesday, and we saw it with Schlittler tonight. When everybody is sitting here saying that's one of the best Yankee postseason pitching performances we have ever seen, maybe a top 3 Yankee postseason pitching performance we've ever seen. You have to believe it because the numbers don't lie. Like the results don't lie in terms of innings pitched, walks, runs, and punch outs. There isn't a Yankee that has gotten close. What was the number that Buster Olney rattled off? He was the first Yankee pitcher in postseason history to go 8 or more innings.
No, not
walks,
Yankee.
12 Ks.
Not just Yankee. He's the first starter in the history of Major League Baseball to go 8 innings, strike out 12, and not walk a batter in a winner-take-all game in MLB history.
Given the context, given the circumstances of a winner-take-all game, and given the context of him being a rookie, starting against their arch nemesis in a game 3 in a winner-take-all, that is unbelievable. And that probably enters the pantheon of Yankee postseason starts and maybe postseason starts in recent memory.
You asked me what is a better performance. I mean, I'm thinking about Garrett Cole. He never did this. There is none. There is no comparison here. At least from my memory right now, post-game, right? My brain is fogged. I'm sure we're live right now on YouTube. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Hopefully you're all enjoying it. And I hope you're enjoying it a little bit extra because you see the smile on my face. Maybe you're hating it a little bit more. I don't know, but I've enjoyed the hell out of it. So thank you for coming in on YouTube. I'm sure someone in the YouTube comments will pull up a start that maybe got close to rivaling it, but this was King of 161st Street. Perfect comment. This was a 1-of-1 performance. There really is no comparison. There's a reason this stat exists.
Yeah,
there's no comparison.
In terms of Yankee outings, I mean, nothing's going to touch Don Larson's perfect game in 56.
Yeah.
But I've got this list here. Roger Clemens went complete game shutout with 15 Ks in 2000 in game 4 of the ALCS against Seattle.
I was 3 years old.
So that's 2000. Who else we got in terms of Yankee lore?
You got to look.
Scrolling on this MLB.com deal. This might be number 3. This is top 3, probably. It's Don Larson, Roger Clemens in 2000, and then Cam Schlittler in the good year of 2025.
Did you hear what you just said?
Yeah, I and again, it's really hard for me to wrap my brain around it, and that's why I gravitate towards all these people. Like, that's why I made sure to watch as much Alabama football as I can while Nick Saban was coaching, because like my peanut brain could actually comprehend that I was watching the best coach to ever do this. Like, that's why I watch a lot of LeBron basketball. Like, my peanut brain can comprehend that I'm watching the best. I'm not saying Cam Schlittler is LeBron and Nick Saban. I'm just saying it's really hard for me to like wrap my head around watching an all-time thing unfold in real time and immediately call it all time. But that's kind of what we have to do tonight after Schlittler.
Can you believe what you're even saying right now? A 24-year-old in his first ever postseason
and this
start.
Shit's just starting, and I saw plenty of people on Twitter saying this is the start of something special early in Schlittler. And honestly, I think early flashed it too.
Oh, he did. And I want to give a lot of credit to the Red Sox. This team lost Roman Anthony. They traded away Rafael Devers. Tristan Casas, who was supposed to hit in the middle of their lineup, was hurt for most of the season. Lucas Giolito, hurt. They are such a tough team. I have so much respect for them. Like, I really, really do. And I'm not just saying that just to say that. Like, I was super excited going into this game, but I knew the Red Sox could take this one. I knew Connolly Early was also a dog. His line doesn't represent what actually happened. The Yankees kind of guard-balled him. Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, what again made that performance so great is that Yankee teams of old were just waiting on the home run ball. We're just sitting there waiting on the big swing. The Yankees never do this. The Yankees never have an 86-mile-an-hour Volpe base hit to the right side. It's always like so much swing and miss. The 3 true outcome shit. Yeah. Like that, with that pitcher, that was my favorite Yankee game of all time.
Credit to them and the offense for being consistently annoying in that fourth inning. Like, that's the way they played it 4 runs, is they were just annoying, and then they were annoying again in the next at-bat, and then they were annoying again in the at-bat after that. I have nothing on the Yankee offense today. Honestly, I wasn't very impressed. Like, outside of that weird, chaotic fourth against Early, they did not look good. I don't care. Like, this was the Cam Schlittler game, and sometimes you have to just tip your cap to Schlittler and David Bednar, who threw a clean ninth. Bednar's your ninth inning guy moving forward for New York. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap there and say pitching won this game, and we were annoying enough for a 6-hitter stretch to plate 4 runs.
All we needed was that Ahmed Rosario base hit through the left side.
That's it.
That's all they needed, because Cam Schlittler delivered. What I do want to say is, and I hope for any Red Sox fans listening, there's probably zero, but if they are, not a great series from some of the stars on the Red Sox.
No.
Jarren Duran hit .091. Ceddanne Rafaela had as many hits as you and I did. Carlos Narvaez, Nate Lowe. A lot of the guys in the middle of the lineup did not show up for the Red Sox.
So the problem in what you just presented is that you went right from Jarren Duran and Rafaela to Nathaniel Lowe.
These are the guys in the middle of the lineup. What am I supposed to say?
Let me ask you, and try, take off your Yankee hat for 10 seconds for this yes or no question. If Roman Anthony is batting leadoff for the Boston Red Sox, does this week look a little different?
Yeah. Yes. He's that good. I mean, he's their Cam Schlittler. He really is. I mean, nobody's Cam Schlittler. But he is a terrifying out.
Yeah.
If he's at the top of the lineup with because you and I both know, we've been watching him all season long. The poise of this young kid, 21 years old, he would not have been afraid of the moment at all. He would have had a big hit in a big moment. The thing is, it wouldn't have mattered if he was in the lineup today.
No.
So,
and to your point,
but in the first 2 games, right? Game 2, that win, 4-3, who knows? Yeah. Yankees could have been going home if Roman Anthony was in the lineup. Yeah. But if he wasn't able to really affect those games, the Yankees were going to win, because nobody could have hit Cam Schlittler that day. I don't want to hear it, Dodger fans.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying, like, the solace.
I'm putting the hat back on.
Yeah, of course. The consolation for the Boston Red Sox fan base is that Roman wasn't healthy. Meyer wasn't in this lineup. Like, you were not operating at your best as an offense.
No.
And you still took them to 3. Like, Crochet took you to 3 effectively. But, like, the best is still to come for the Boston Red Sox. I believe that. But the New York Yankees, man, they wrote a rookie, and he gave them an all-time pitching performance. I have one more thing on this game, and if you have more, like, please keep going. My only other thing is, I learned something tonight. There was a crowd shot on ESPN, and Jimmy Fallon was bouncing up and down. Jimmy Fallon's a Yankee fan? That makes no sense to me. His best work ever, I'm not a fan of his late night, but that's a conversation for another time. His best work is a movie about being a Red Sox fan. Like, what is that? Wait. You're the guy from Fever Pitch and you're a Yankee fan?
To be perfectly honest, who gives a fuck about Jimmy Fallon? Like,
I was just confused.
Yeah.
I was so confused. I was like, I love Fever Pitch. That was a great movie.
Yeah, I could give a shit about Jimmy Fallon. You know who I want to talk about?
Diehard Red Sox fan. Why would a Yankee fan ever play a diehard Red Sox fan in a movie that, like, actually was really good?
You know who I want to talk about?
Jimmy Fallon.
Anthony Volpe.
Oh, sure.
1,000 OPS in the playoffs. Great defense at shortstop. Saved that pick from Jazz Chisholm. God, that's got to feel good. Everything about that has to feel so good if you're the Yankees. The momentum they just built going into that series against Toronto, because Toronto is a beast, especially at the Rogers Center. I think they have the best home record in Major League Baseball. That team is not going to go easily. Bieber, Gausman, with that offense, even it doesn't matter if Bichette plays. That team from 1 to 9 has been hitting all year. This is next man up mentality. I've been on Toronto Sports Network like 15 times this year, and I've been talking to these guys. I mean, Toronto is not to be taken lightly. But the way you beat them is a performance like this, building off of that going into that game. Because if this was a little sketchy, Schlittler goes 5 innings, 2 runs, and we barely beat them and make some mistakes, you don't feel so hot going into that series. But that oh, I don't even know what to say. I mean, we could literally spend the whole hour on the Yankees. We will talk about them tomorrow. We got a division series preview, and don't worry, I'll be bringing more fire. But for now, there are other fan bases we got to talk about because there were some great games today.
We're going to talk about the Padres and the Cubs in a moment right here on the Just Baseball Show. Cubs got to win. They're going to the DS. It is the battle of I-90. I should know this. I'm from there.
And I live here now, and I have no idea.
This offseason. God, just give me the rundown, and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna think about the highway, and we're gonna be good.
Game 3, Cubs win 3-1. Cubs jumped on Darvish in the second inning as he allowed 4 straight base runners, including a PCA RBI single, to take the lead. After just 21 pitches, San Diego goes to the bullpen with the bases loaded. But Jeremiah Estrada walks Dansby Swanson to score the second run. Both staffs held it down until the 7th when Michael Busch gave the Cubs some much-needed breathing room with a big-time home run, and Wrigley went wild. In the 9th, Jackson Merrill homered off Brad Keller, and then Xander Bogaerts struck out on a legitimately horrible call. Changed the game. As Keller hit the next 2 batters, it should be bases loaded, no outs. But then the king of holds, Andrew Kittredge, comes into the game. After pitching the first 2, we saw him open in game 2. Didn't do all that well. Cubs fans, probably the hair is standing up on their forearms. Jake Cronenworth chopped one to the left side, and Matt Shaw fired a bullet to nab him. I swore he was safe in the moment, but he was definitely out when we looked at the replay. With 2 runners on, Freddie Fermin launched one to center, but he just got under it. PCA catches it. Cubs win and move on to face the Brewers. I want to shout out Jameson Taillon.
Yeah.
Double TJ guy. Can't forget that. End of the season on a heater. 1.57 ERA in 34 innings. We thought losing Cade Horton, that was going to be a big blow. Taillon stepped in and was just I thought he could have kept going, but gave them 4 strong innings, only allowing 2 hits, striking out 4 without any walks. I was a day early on saying the Padres were done. I couldn't believe how anemic this offense was because we all know the bullpen. I mean, the bullpen, they only have to score a couple to win, Jack. Only a few. Right? In game 2, they win 3-0. Just get a lead, put the bullpen in, and they're done. That's why we all loved them in the playoffs. Because we knew if they have a lead by the 4th inning, it could be a 1-run lead. 1-run lead. By the 4th inning, they're going to win the game. No matter the ballpark. Even though they struggled on the road. But as long as you get a lead, you're going to win. But when Fernando Tatis Jr. looks like that, when Manny Machado looks like that, you're going home. And it's really unfortunate because this Padres team had the ingredients to compete for a World Series in a really tough National League. Now, we're going to give the Cubs all the credit in the world. Like, you beat the team that all of us thought were going to move past you. Like, you can rub it in our faces on that one. You really can. The Cubs showed up. Wrigley fans showed up. Game 2, I was at Wrigley. That fan base did not give up for a second. 2 strikes, 2 outs, whole crowds to the feet. I think there was 12 Padres fans there. Seriously, I mean, it was all blue. Fans stuck by them, and they got it done in the end. But really, I was just... the offense, the Padres. I mean, credit to the Cubs pitching, right? They hit their spots. Bullpen guys stepped up. Good performances from the starting rotation, but damn.
And let's save the negative on San Diego real quick. Like, let's stick on the Cubs. Number one, first and foremost, that energy was bananas. Like, that place was amazing. All 3 games. It's 94. I can't believe I forgot I-94. I'm literally from there. Like, and I lived in Milwaukee this past offseason. Like, I need to know 94, and I'm really upset with myself, but it's also 11 p.m., so give me a freaking break for a minute.
I'll give you a break.
Dansby Swanson was a game changer defensively. That guy was a joy to watch defensively the entire week, and on Thursday, he was utterly insane. Seiya Suzuki can swing it. Michael Busch can freaking swing it. If Michael Busch is underrated at this point, I don't know what we're doing. Like, this guy is a joy to watch swing the bat. PCA looked a bit better and looked a bit more comfortable this week, and that was exciting, I think, for Cubs fans. They're rounding into their offensive form that can make them dangerous, that can have them stick around against Milwaukee and make this turn into it's only 5 games. You never know what can happen type of conversation. If the Cubs did not have this offensive approach and they were not firing offensively in the way that it seemed like they were over the last couple of days, and I know that Wednesday was a quiet day, but it seemed like there was enough there to incite the thought that it's like they can actually turn this series against Milwaukee into a crapshoot instead of, oh, they're outmatched in 3 phases. Let's just see how Milwaukee handles it. For me, like, the Cubs, based on what they showed offensively and what they got back to, because they were this team before the All-Star break. They were this team before their skid. Like, the fact that they got back to what they were and what made them one of the best teams in baseball this year, that should have Brewers fans really nervous.
Here's what I will say to Cubs fans that might be still a little bit nervous about the offense. You have to realize that you just went up against that bullpen. You just went up against that pitching staff.
Yeah.
And you won 2 out of 3 games.
Yeah.
And what did I say going into the playoffs? If they let PCA get hot, if they let Kyle Tucker get hot, this team can beat anybody. They can. This was the team in the front half of the season that we thought could potentially make a World Series run because the offense was unconscious. The defense, I mean, Dansby Swanson, beautiful plays at shortstop, all parts of them. I mean, a human vacuum over there. Nico Horner, Matt Shaw, PCA in center. You get a little bit of wind blowing in at Wrigley to stop some of those home run balls and let the defense play around. You got to earn your hits out there.
Yeah.
So you combine that offense. Again, PCA and Kyle Tucker have to keep showing up. They have to. I know Kyle Tucker's probably injured. I think he's probably playing through something.
Yeah.
PCA, you got to be the guy. And PCA lives on momentum. Did you see how fired up he was getting just on singles? And that's okay.
Yep.
All he needs is just to feel that consistent good wood against the bat. Put some good swings on the baseball.
And they've got some lineup extenders, man. I thought Nico Horner put together some good ABs over the course of the week.
That guy has been such a stud all year long. He is second in Major League Baseball in batting average with runners in scoring position at over 370. Does a job every single time. That is a World Series winning ball player.
Yeah.
Like, that's a guy who, if whatever team hoists the trophy at the end of the season, like, they would want a guy like Nico Horner at second base. That guy is a ball player in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
Very impressive performance by the Cubs because, again, I'm not really worried about their offense. They just went up against the Padres bullpen. And the reason we were also bullish on the Padres was I was like, the bullpen could do it itself.
And the bullpen did kind of do it itself. Like,
yeah, I mean, nobody's going to hit them, really.
Like, the bullpen for San Diego shut them down for a while there.
I mean, it's Cam Schlittler, then Mason Miller.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And then I would throw Morahone in there as well.
Let me have that one for a second.
Unbelievable.
Oh, Morahone is so disgusting.
He's so good. And Miller's so good. And, like, dude, there's a lot there. But I saw a comment earlier on in the chat here. It's going to be a fascinating. Yeah. Andrew Waters said this is going to be such a weird offseason for the Padres. Hell yeah, it is. They got a lot of people walking. Who do you retain? How do you scale down your payroll? How do you optimize? You have no farm anymore. You traded it all for Mason Miller and Ryan O'Hearn or Ramon Laureano. I am so curious to see what this roster looks like. This felt like their last shot at it. AJ Preller is going to manufacture another shot at it next year. And probably in 27 and probably in 28, he's going to figure out a way to spawn a middle reliever and then trade him for a corner outfielder. And it's just going to work. But dude, like, San Diego, I have so many questions about. I guess this is an off-season conversation, but credit to the Cubs. I'm really excited for Cubs, Brewers, and the DS. San Diego, they got some stuff to figure out. And Fernando Tatis can't go 1 for 12.
One last thing on the Cubs. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, pouring on the Padres, I kind of did it after game one. I just had a feeling. I was like, all right, if this offense isn't showing up, they're done. If Tatis is going to put up ABs like this, uncompetitive, if Machado is going to be swinging and missing like a foot away from the baseball, they're done. You can't out-hit that. And when you're missing Ramon Laureano, that's huge. Because what? Freddie Fermin's going to be the guy to drive in runs? When you're at Wrigley, like, and with the Cubs pitching performances too, like, do not let that slide under the rug. Tyon and that changeup looked awesome. Like, Shota made one mistake to Manny Machado. Sure. Made one mistake. It was a really bad splitter.
Palencia was a dog this week.
Drew Pomeranz. I mean, Brad Keller was really, really shaky, but he has been so good. I'm giving him a pass for now. One bad outing, right? It happens. But he has been so stellar for them. Andrew Kittredge pitched all 3 games in the series. Like, they have bullpen arms that I trust, even down the line. Soroka, Colin Ray, Taylor Rogers.
Yeah, I feel like you're just kind of naming dudes now. Like, I don't know if you.
I just saw them perform well. Like, I was like, that's got to feel really good as a Cubs fan in a short series like that. A lot of your guys were throwing shutout innings.
Yeah. I also did send a message in our Discord, best baseball community on the face of the earth. I said I find it hard to believe that Kittredge feels like he's optimizing his delivery because he's just like stumbling, bumbling, drunk. Like, if he and Shane Baz like increase their level of like attention to anatomically what they're doing on the mound, I feel like they could both be sitting 105 miles an hour. It's just bizarre.
Yeah, Kittredge is like,
I'm gonna throw up, and then here's 97 dotted.
It just works.
Bizarre. Real quick before we move on to the final game, we never really highlight comments here because obviously this is a podcast, but I do want to highlight this one on Twitter from Bill Papers the Fourth. Is Boston still going to win in 2, Jack? No, they're not. I played New York at the beginning.
I will give you some grace. You played New York at the beginning. It was a great rundown. You gave them their flowers. There's just a deep, dark pit in you that doesn't like the Yankees, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Because we're moving on.
Time for Tigers Guardians to wrap us up. Cleveland's going home, or they're staying home. Detroit is making their way to Seattle. What a brutal way to do this. Hey, you like your champagne shower? You like your 10 Budweisers? Time to get on a flight and go from Cleveland to Seattle. How did we get there?
Kerry Carpenter got the scoring started in the 3rd with a double down the line, just deflecting off first baseman CJ Kavas' glove, scoring Parker Meadows. Jose Ramirez would answer for Cleveland with an RBI single in the 4th, scoring George Valera. But in the 6th, Tigers took control as Dylan Dingler rocked a home run to give Detroit a 2-1 lead, and they never looked back. In the following inning, Wenzel Perez delivered 2-run single, scoring Javier Baez and Parker Meadows. Spencer Torkelson would follow it up with an RBI single to score Kerry, and then Riley Green brought home Perez, and it's 6-1 Tigers. In the 8th, the Guardians tried their last bit of guard ball as Jose Ramirez grounds it to Torque, who throws it to Vest, who completely botches it, scoring 2, but that was it for Cleveland. And Detroit is moving on to face Seattle in the ALDS. Jack Flaherty pitched well. 4 2/3, 3 hits, 1 earned, 4 punchies. Finnegan gets the win after tossing 4 outs without allowing a hit. And Will Vest did a job getting the last 5 outs. Carpenter, Green, and Javier fucking Baez led the offense. All 3 posting OPSs above 950. The better team won. Point blank period. The better team won. Guardians had this late surge, even had us buying in. It was hard not to. Everything was bouncing their way. But the Tigers, they out-hit them. Their stars showed up. Skubal, Green, Kerry Carpenter. These are the guys that have to lead Detroit if they want to make a run here. And they did it. And the Guardians in Cleveland, it's not easy. It's not easy to go beat that team. And again, built momentum going into the last game. That last, that 7th, 8th inning, just pouring it on. Bats getting hot. Dylan Dingler. Tigers found their franchise catcher.
Yeah.
And you've been a Dingler guy for all 962 episodes?
I've been a Dingler guy since he was in high A with the West Michigan Whitecaps.
Dude, I think if you go back to episode 30, you're talking Dylan Dingler. All credit to you on that one.
Catching plan in the future. And guess what? They've got a catching plan in the present now in Dingler. We're all dinged up right now. I've got Dingler fever. I don't want to go to the Barry element of this, but I'm kind of dinged up right now on him. But here's my thing about Cleveland, and credit to Detroit. There's a lot to like from Detroit right now. Ciccone goes 2 1/3, and I thought Ciccone actually looked pretty damn sharp. They had to rely on the same cast of characters in the pen over and over and over again. I was like, is Hunter Gaddis' arm going to fall off? Is Sobrowski's arm going to fall off? I felt so bad for those guys. And I see a comment here. Class A's absence really hurt them. Yeah, obviously. I mean, dude, I thought Cade Smith's arm was going to fall off on Wednesday. No shot he goes on Thursday. Dude, we were watching a team that was taxed, and they didn't really have an option outside of all reliable. And 3 games in 3 days, it's just really hard to do that.
Especially when these teams know these bullpen arms so well. I mean, how many times have the Tigers faced Tim Herron? How many times have they seen Cade Smith? How many times have they seen Hunter Gaddis? 1 trillion times. And your arm's about to fall off because you got quick hooks on some of these guys. Now, I get why they took out Ciccone. I get it. But it was really quick. But I know why. You cannot let them score. You have to do your best because you can't score.
Right. And honestly, I thought Cantillo was going to go more than 2 2/3, but when he came out and he was spraying a little bit, that's immediate concern for Stephen Vogt. That offense, I have nothing more to say other than they gotta add.
I mean, you're waiting on Jose Ramirez to get a big hit.
When is he up again?
And it was so funny. I was listening to your guys' show last night. I was watching it again on the YouTube live stream, and you guys were talking so much about Chase DeLauter. And I understand why. How many more people do you feel more confident in than Chase DeLauter in that lineup?
No, I mean, at that point for me, he was 2 because he surpassed Manzardo in a certain
Quan. So probably 3.
But Quan's a table setter. He's not who's going to give you the big swing. It's not Stephen Quan. Quan is the guy that's going to be on base and score. It's just J-Ram at this point. And you're saying, okay, maybe DeLauter runs into one. And then you've got Manzardo who ran into some during the regular season, but I don't know. He wasn't overwhelmingly threatening this week. And then you're looking at Rocchio just because he's hot. It wasn't good this year. Were you looking at Naylor because he's hot? It wasn't good this year.
Rocchio and Naylor have had some big time postseason hits, but I agree. That it's so funny. I see this comment on the YouTube live stream, Jose and friends. Just Jose Ramirez got a bunch of his boys to go win a playoff game.
I don't know where
it's mean. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say it.
No, I don't know where they upgrade, how they upgrade. I'm just looking at a guy, and I know that he didn't have a good year this year, but Spencer Horwitz was rerouted through Cleveland. He went from Toronto to Cleveland to Pittsburgh. Could Spencer Horwitz have helped in any form or fashion in this lineup? I don't know. They need a substantial upgrade somewhere for me. They need some reinforcements. They need someone to incite just a little bit of fear in opposing pitchers along with Jose Ramirez, because J-Ram can't keep doing this by himself. And listen, they're going to get close to the postseason every single year because Jose Ramirez is that guy. He is that good. He's a future Hall of Famer, and I think a first ballot Hall of Famer. But you can't win a World Series with just Jose Ramirez and a team that hit 226 this year. 226. They had a negative run differential, and the boys were pitching.
Yeah.
They were one of the better staffs in baseball, and they still had a negative run differential. The offense was that bad. They need to figure some stuff out. Credit to Detroit. I don't buy that offense at all, frankly. Like, I'll call it right now as we do the DS preview. I'm going to go Seattle in 3 or 4 in the DS. But, like, good for them for getting on through.
I got a weird feeling.
Okay, you know what? If you're going to do this,
if you're going to do this,
good.
Do you know how crazy you are? You won't even accept another opinion on potentially the Mariners could lose. Have you seen Brian Wu? Not good. We'll talk about it in the division series. I don't want to spoil it. I want to talk about the Tigers in this series because, like, if I'm a Tigers fan, you falter at the very end, and you couldn't have less momentum. You had the worst record in September of a playoff team. 7-17 through your final month. You limp into the series. You're on the road. And Tarek Skubal gives you that little jolt. Be like, all right, we won the Skubal start. One more. And then you falter in game 2. And it's like, But then in game 3, your guys come through. I mean, yes. Is it the most exciting offense in the world? No. But if Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green are hitting like that, like, you have 2 legit bats.
Yes.
And you assume that Gleyber Torres is going to be a little bit better. You assume that a couple other guys, like, they're going to get Cole Keith back. Like, I think that this offense, you just have to, Tarek Skubal has to be a superhero. He has to be a superhero. And the bullpen did pretty well outside of Tommy Kahnle in that last game. Like, I'm just saying, don't just give it to Seattle, because Seattle's never proven anything in the playoffs. They've never proven anything.
So played right field for them in an inner squad. I'm giving it to Seattle.
Give it to Seattle because they got a legend playing right field. No,
Ichiro did the no-fly zone thing after he caught a fly ball in right field. That gave me all the confidence I needed in the Seattle Mariners.
No, but I know where you're coming from and why we keep trying to talk about the next series, because the Tigers didn't give us a ton to talk about in this series.
No, and, like, my concerns about their offensive identity, like, still reign true. Like, Cleveland racked up Ks this week.
And another thing that I noticed, like, everyone's talking about guard ball. I feel like they've faced the Tigers 70 times in their last 70 games.
I know.
I've seen so many Guardians-Tigers games at this point. Tigers defense has got to shape up. Now, I know it's been weird plays.
Shape up. They need to swing and miss less.
Yes.
They need some starting pitching reinforcements behind Skubal. Like, these are too many question marks to win a DS. Like,
I mean, Flaherty looked good. Casey Mize looked pretty good. I mean,
Mize didn't really have the opportunity to show how good he was.
I know, but maybe he will in the next series. And, outside of that bad inning late, the Tigers pitching did really well. They really did, right? We saw them in game 1, Skubal to the bullpen, dominant. In game 2, held the Guardians to 1 run for the majority of the game until that bad inning. And then in game 3, Flaherty steps up and the bullpen shuts the door. Like, those were impressive pitching performances. The thing is, can we grab a lot from it when they're facing the team with the worst batting average of any postseason team ever?
Yeah.
That's why I think you and I are a little bit hesitant right now, because objectively the performances on paper were great, but knowing their competition, like, you got to go prove it against Seattle.
Yeah.
But I'm not counting them out.
This is a massive step up in weight class, and I'm curious to see how they handle it. I really tip of the cap to Will Vest. He was great this week.
Yes, he was.
Tip of the cap to Finnegan this week. Finnegan was great this week. And there was a lot there to like. If I were a Tigers fan, I just have plenty of concerns going into Seattle. But we're going to talk about all that tomorrow.
Yes, we will. I think that'll do it.
That's our program
for this episode of the Just Baseball Show. Hopefully everybody enjoyed, and be on the lookout. Episode coming tomorrow. Full division series preview. We're going to preview them all. That's the point. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm just listing things. Make sure to go get your Just Baseball merch. I'm unfortunately not rocking any merch right now. I want to shout out our friends at Lids. They sent me this hat. This is the coolest Yankee hat ever. Look at the colors. Look at the tan. Look at the green.
That is sick.
God, I look good. God, this is a sexy ass hat. And look at the crew neck. That's a baller crew neck.
It is sick.
Go check out our friends at Lids. Use code JBLids. And also go get yourself some Just Baseball merch if you want. But also, really, really important, our Discord has just been awesome. For everybody still watching on YouTube, hopefully you're still here. Join our Discord if you can. It's just $10 a month, cheaper than a price of a freaking sandwich. It is truly the best baseball group chat in the world. You can find the link here in our episode description. Join us for the playoffs. Again, just $10. Even if you want to join for a week, $5. And you can find that link in the episode description. If you're listening on audio, best way to support, rate, review, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that big like button. Come on, folks. Come on. Hit that big red subscribe button because we'll be back tomorrow and for the rest of the postseason and then the offseason and for the rest of our lives. For Jack McMullen, I'm Peter Apple. Let's fucking go Yankees. And with that, thank you, everybody.